Hey Facebook, Drew here with your Friday morning headlines back on set because guess what? I don't have an air pollution map to show you today. That's some good news for us. All of that smoke, which you still might notice in the air, is actually just upper level stuff. Storm tracker meteorologist Lydia Bloom told us that it's going to be moving on out. We've got this cold front coming through and it's helping move things right along. It's actually bringing some rain in to the western part of the state right now of North Dakota. It's going to be pushing on through, bringing some clean air behind it. So it's still an issue for those with those sensitivities, asthma, COPD, maybe some people who have allergies. You're probably going to notice it a little bit out there, but it should be clearing up for the most part. Good news for Moorhead drivers this morning. We were live on First News showing you that 2 lanes going east and west on Main Avenue at 8th, between 8th and 11th are back open this morning. So Monday morning we told you on First News they were closing that up as part of a big sewer replacement project. Well, now those lanes are back open, so you've got a little bit of traffic flow there. So good news, and we were able to see that take place this morning, and traffic is moving. A reminder though, next week at Main and 2nd, that intersection there at 10th Street, they're going to be closing that off a little bit too. So just keep that in mind. We also wanted to let drivers in Grand Forks know, Grand Forks County and Grand Forks in the city as well, that there will be sobriety checkpoints set up throughout the weekend starting tonight. They are doing a big blitz between North Dakota Highway Patrol, the County Sheriff's Office, and the police to stop impaired drivers. The reason just being that every 13 hours in the state of North Dakota, there's a crash involving alcohol right now. So they are going to be doing that. They're not going to tell us, of course, where those checkpoints will be set up throughout the weekend because that kind of defeats the purpose of it. But just be aware of that. And then also there will be increased patrolling going on as well in Grand Forks. Staying with Grand Forks, big news there, recall effort for a city council member failed. That you had to have enough signatures gathered by a certain point in order to push that recall vote through. That was for Ward 6, a longtime city council member there, Dana Sandy's seat, and that did not go through. So there were not enough signatures gathered or even turned in, so that recall effort has failed there. There has not been a recall vote for a Grand Forks city councilor since the year 2000. If we look that up this morning, so kind of interesting stuff. Big update in the Roger Maris theft case going back to 2016. You might remember somebody dressed up as a security guard. They went into West Acres Mall where that museum is set up, the Roger Maris Museum is, smashed one of the glass cases open and took the Hickok belt, which was an award given, like a wrestling belt given to the best athlete of the year. They did that for a long time, and that was, I think, 1961 when he hit 61 home runs that he received that and the AL MVP award. Now, for a long time, the FBI got involved. They couldn't figure out who this person was. Well, yesterday they broke that open. It's part of a really large theft ring. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars. More than 50 items, some of them, MVP trophies like Roger Maris's that belong to Yogi Berra, World Series rings, Belmont Stakes trophy, a lot of stuff, artwork, jewelry that had been stolen by, they're saying 9 individuals. 8 of them have turned themselves in at this point. One, Nicholas Dombeck, is still now listed as a fugitive from the FBI. So he is wanted. They're all from Pennsylvania, but unfortunately, with this revelation and development, came the likelihood that none of those artifacts, memorabilia, will be returned because they were likely melted down for their metal and sold that way. And then also some of them were sold black market for far less than their market value. So kind of a heartbreaking situation there, but some closure at the same time. Today, FirstLink is going to be cutting the ribbon on its new office space in Fargo. FirstLink is the suicide prevention and crisis line for the entire state of North Dakota and part of western Minnesota as well. They've been in the community for years doing that work 24/7 at 365. That is, the new office is about 2 blocks away from West Acres Mall, just to the west of there, off of 15th Avenue. They're going to be having a celebration for that ribbon cutting, which will also be a celebration for new funding that the 988 line is getting. Fargo's mayor, Tim Mahoney, is going to be speaking there, and North Dakota's Human Services Administrator will be speaking as well. So that's going to be taking place. Also, we wanted to give you a heads up on some weekend events that are taking place in the metro area. West Fargo is having its street fair downtown at the yard downtown. So Cheyenne will be closed from, I think it's 2nd to 5th tomorrow. That will be closing early, 6:30. Won't reopen until well into the afternoon after that event closes. So just be aware of that tomorrow if you're driving in that area. The 4th annual Fargo Moorhead Juneteenth celebration gets kicked off tomorrow with an event at Renaissance Hall at NDSU. So that will be taking place from 1 to 7 in the afternoon there into the evening. And then on Monday, there will be a film festival, an arts festival at the UMCOM Center for Juneteenth. That will be from 4 to 8 on Monday. So keep an eye out for that. Also, Grand Forks, you've got Blues on the Red taking place tomorrow. You do have to pay to get into that. I think it's $5 for kids and $10 for adults. And then also the Grand Forks Market opens tomorrow morning in Town Square as well. So that will be going on tomorrow morning. And just if you're going down there, just a reminder, not all the vendors are going to have credit card stations. So you're going to need to bring some cash if you want to buy something. But they do accept food stamps and EBT for that as well. They'll give you tokens if you go to their headquarters if you want to buy some fresh produce down there. Big updates overnight on that crash in Manitoba that took place about 2 hours west if you're traveling by car of Winnipeg. It was a bad crash at an intersection. 15 people have died. 10 people are in the hospital right now. It involved a bus and a semi-truck. That bus was carrying senior citizens to a casino, and it was very bad. The Royal Mounted Police in Canada say that that's actually the most or the highest casualty event that they've had in the province's history when it comes to a traffic collision. So just keep those folks in mind up there. And then in Texas, they're also dealing with a really nasty storm. The fallout of that, of course, that struck yesterday afternoon. One town in particular, Perryton, is really hit hard. They had 3 people who died there. Close to 100 injuries have been reported so far. And today they're really dealing with of course, cleanup. The Red Cross is going down there to assist people who've lost their homes. The state of Texas is pumping in emergency funds to get those people back up and running. But there were also power outages just in the state of Texas alone. And this storm ripped through Louisiana, parts of Oklahoma. But just in Texas, about 220,000 households are without power this morning. And so companies like Xcel Energy that operate down there are working to get that piece together. Logan Campbell is hosting Hot Mic today on WDAY Extra. That's on from 9 to 11 before our 11 o'clock news is back on WDAY. Definitely tune in for that. I think she sat down with a former Bison now in the NFL to kind of get his thoughts on that transition as he goes into the camps and OTAs for the off season. And then over at inform.com, a story that has been really interesting to read this morning. Epic Epic, the developer in North Dakota, is launching a hotels project, a new brand called Imagine by Epic, and it's what they call a hybrid hotel. So these are going to be popping up in Fargo, Grand Forks, and Minot. We know for certain, with construction slated to begin 2024. They're aiming to open in 2026, but these hotels will have between 110 and 140 rooms each, and then the top levels of those hotels will be kind of luxury apartment condo living, and they will involve, I mean, if you do live in those, you'll have access to meeting rooms in the hotel, gyms, the pool, places like that. And they're also talking about maybe having a bar restaurant agreement for each of those locations as well. All right, heading into Father's Day weekend, I hope you all have a good one. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget we have newscasts on at 11 on WDAY at 4, 5, and 6 on WDAY, at 9 on WDAY Extra, and then 10 o'clock. And then don't forget our morning newscasts, weekend newscasts as well. With the morning, we start at 7, go to 8:30 on First News on Saturday, and then 7 to 8 on Sunday. We've got Ag Week that runs right after First News on Saturday mornings as well. And then we have evening newscasts at 6 and 10 on Saturday, and 5:30 and 10 on Sunday. We'll see you back here on Monday. Have a good one.